Got the light in, gave it a little bit of trouble, but it's in and I'm looking well and lit up. And in today's video, it's a very simple video. We are just gonna be sheetrocking this back wall, this side wall here, all the way up to this point where the self-level ends. I don't want to put the sheetrock where the self-level is because I want the sheetrock to be on top of the self-level and not buried inside of the self-level. So as soon as I pour this side, I am going to be able to put the sheetrock all the way around. So without further ado, let's start putting this in and getting this wall closed up. So before I continue installing the sheetrock, I really want to highlight this. This box sticks out 5/8 of an inch. So when I put the sheetrock, you could cut all the way around it, making it perfect, or you could do what I do, and I showed it in another video, but I want to show you more details in this one. You could do everything in an angle and get as close as possible to this edge. It doesn't always come out good, but when you do it right, it comes out fantastic. So I'm going to show you how the sheetrock should look from the back. That's how it should look in the back. So everything is cut in an angle to make that space for the beveled edge coming out. And this is the piece that we cut up. That's supposed to go right in there. So yeah, this is how it should look in the back, making that space for this edge right here. Like I said, it doesn't come out the best sometimes, but this is the way I like to do it, because when it does come out good, it looks really, really good. So let's keep installing the sheetrock. So I have a couple of pieces left to install, but I really want to show you something which is a mistake I made. And if you guys are sheetrocking or doing studs and putting plywood, maybe you guys want to avoid making the same mistake. So you guys see how this stud folds in on itself and how this screw is crushing the metal onto the sheetrock? Well, this right here makes the sheetrock pop up, and I'll show you how. If you look here, this sheetrock is popping up and it's not even. Over here is worst. I'm gonna have to like make sure the taper massages this, feathers it out. It really looks bad here, and maybe some sanding or something to fix that. But if you are gonna do the plywood, you either have to score it so that that little line could go inside the plywood and it won't be pushing everything forward, or get studs that doesn't fold in back on itself, and I think it'll be all right. So just wanted to stop the camera from recording to show you guys that, because I kind of feel bad about that. I should have known better, but it is what it is. And here we are. Let's keep closing this wall up. So we got this side of the wall in 100%. I want to show you this. Like I said, when you don't do it 100% perfect, this is what you get. You get a little bit bigger on the edges, but I like it more like this, like I said before, because we get as close as possible. Although I failed on this side. We can't all be perfect. And as you guys see, we have 2 buckets here, because while the contractors were replacing these beams, which I showed in the last video, they cut into the pipe and they replaced the pipe. There was a cut there and a cut somewhere around here. So they cut it where that's at and put a new joint, and they both failed. So I'm glad it rained and showed where it failed. So now they're gonna have to send somebody else to fix it. And I'm a little bit scared over here because there's not a lot of meat on the pipe there. But it is what it is. They're gonna have to send a plumber to do this. But because of this, I'm gonna have to pause and save for the next day. So because of this, I'm gonna have to pause this video at the moment and finish the rest tomorrow. I don't wanna be working around buckets, but this is the kind of things that you have to deal with when you are in the middle of a heavy construction. So next scene, I'm gonna finish the rest of this wall. So, as you guys can see, I'm very sweaty. It's got hot in this room. I don't have air conditioner or anything, so just have to deal with the heat and the sweat. But I finished installing the sheetrock. Let me show you guys what I did and why I did things the way I did it, which is not that conventional. So the first thing is I put a full 6-foot piece in the bottom. Usually you do the 4-foot and then another 4-foot piece where you have the 2 beveled edges. This is called the beveled edges. A factory edge, some call it. I decided to put that full piece there just so that there's less to be taped in the bottom, and also if I put a 4-foot piece, it will end up where the self level hasn't been put. So that's why I did that like that. Also, I installed this bottom piece first, which is just 1 screw, found the measurement for that piece and installed it. And then I took the bottom piece out to put a piece of plywood back there. I don't know if I'm ever gonna mount something there. It's better to have the plywood back there and not use it than later on in the future I want to mount something in that corner and I could have put the plywood and I didn't. So that's why I did that like that. I also put this little piece up there just to start getting everything off the floor, because as you guys can see, it's getting a little dirty. And also in the next video, I'm going to be doing the self level in that area. I want to have the least amount of things on the floor so that when I'm doing that floor, it's not crazy in this area. So yeah, That's why I did that piece. In the future, I'll be closing this ceiling up, but I'm not gonna close it till the very end because remember, that is where the termites were. I wanna keep this open as long as possible so that if they do come back, I could see it instead of it being behind the sheetrock and then taped and everything's closed up, and then we're screwed and we're back where we left off. So this is where I'm gonna have to end this video. If you learned something new, you could show me by giving me a like. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave it in the comments down below. And if you wanna see the end of this project, this room done, me do the final area of the self level, consider subscribing. And I truly hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.